Hallelujah. Hi, it's Caleb Jones, and this is the Alpha Male 2.0 podcast, audio only this time. As you can see, if you are watching this on any video format, that you cannot see my face because I'm in the middle of moving. So you just get audio, and if you don't get video and that pisses you off, I don't fucking care. So I have finally, or I should say we have finally found a house here in Dubai. Pink Firefly has now been officially moved to Dubai, and we were living out of two different apartments for a while, and we found a house. We just moved in about a week ago, and she's actually there now. I'm in my temporary apartment here recording this podcast, and I move out my last remnant of stuff from this apartment to the house tomorrow. Been a big pain in the ass. Normally when you move and then you move your stuff into the new house or into the new apartment. However, when we moved to this house, the whole house was empty because it's on the other side of the planet. You can't ship you can, but it's not worth it. There's no point in shipping like couches and dishwashers from the United States to Dubai. So I had to buy all this stuff all over again. So not only do you move in, you have to run around like a maniac and buy, dining room tables and shit like that. And Pink Firefly did most of that shit because I don't care. But I had to be involved at least to a degree because I'm paying for some of these items. And as you know, I have an OLTR marriage with Pink Firefly, which means we have separate finances. So some of the things she is purchasing and some of the things I am purchasing. And so I had to give the A-OK on the items that I am purchasing. And of course, my favorite thing in the fucking world is shopping for furniture. I mean, that's what I like to do for fun every day. Oh yeah, it's great. So at least most of that is done now. Once I make this final move from my apartment into the house and get my new office and some other stuff set up at the new house, finally, I will be done. And this has been a 2-month pain in my ass process that will be finally over with. Thank God. Moving when you're by yourself from one country to another is pretty easy. Moving when you have a wife and she has a goddamn dog and she has like 47 boxes of clothing, that's a nightmare. So, it just is. So that's part of what you sign up for when you move in with someone. Anyway, that also explains why there's been some gaps in this podcast publishing schedule. I apologize for that. I am very consistent with my social media /blog /video /podcast content, but all the chaos last few weeks of me making these transitions, it's unavoidable to fall behind a little bit. So back on track now, and we'll be back. If you're wondering, we will be back to video content next week. So let's finally get to today's topic of the fucking podcast, Caleb. Fucking motherfucker shit. Today's topic is something that has grown out of many conversations I have had with many of you regarding your dating life and or your relationship life. And I have been rendering this type of advice now for about 13 years. I've had hundreds of conversations in person over the phone and thousands of conversations online with men regarding these topics. And here is something that I see recurring. And that is the question, why did she do that? Why did she do that? We were dating and everything was fine. Then she got mad at me and then she won't call me anymore. Well, why'd she do that? On the second date and her body language was great. And now she's ghosted me and she won't text me back. Why'd she do that? Now, let me explain how this works. Most times in life, knowing why something occurred is good. When I'm in business and I have a business failure, and business failures is part of doing business, I always go back and determine why that happened. And usually, almost always, it's something that I did wrong. One of my core concepts is that everything in my life is my fault. So usually it's because of something I did wrong. And I make sure to identify those things or thing that I did wrong. And if it's not something I did wrong, if it's something that someone else did wrong or something else external to me, I identify that as well so as to not repeat that mistake. And certainly asking why things occur is important when you're looking at a broad range of inputs. In other words, if you go on 20 first dates in a row, which is something I've done many times, 20x times, then yes, you want to take notes as to what works and what doesn't. That's valid information, and that's what I did for many years when I started out as Black Dragon many years ago. I took very careful notes in terms of what worked and what didn't. But rarely in my woman life did I ask myself, why did this happen? Why are women doing this? For example, here's an easy example. I'll give you many. One of my techniques is do not kiss a woman on a first date. Do not kiss. Now do everything else. Kino, touch her if it's appropriate, sex talk, sexual frame, outcome independence, confidence, all the things we talk about on first dates. Everything else, but do not kiss her on the mouth. Don't kiss her at all if you can help it. And on the second date, you can kiss her and then you go as far as you can, ideally to sex. If you can't, then you go for that on the third date if you want. The reason I give that advice is that comes out of a lot of experimentation I did several years ago when I was going on hundreds and hundreds of first dates and scores of first dates. And I've talked about this before. I would track how often it worked when I would kiss women on first dates versus when I made them wait to the second date or what have you. And there was a period of time where I went on, I forget the exact number, something like 24 or 25 first dates where I kissed the woman on the mouth. Pretty confident guy. And so I just made that happen, even if it was just a peck kiss. Sometimes it was a peck, sometimes it was a real kiss, sometimes it was full on making out. It depended on the scenario. But I did this like 20 plus times in a row because back then I was learning from some pickup artists. And in the pickup artist world, the big thing back then was, and to a degree it is today, the big thing back then was what they called the kiss close. Make sure you make out with her. Go for the makeout. That was a big thing in the pickup artist world about 15 years ago. So I didn't know what I was doing. So okay, I guess I'll go for the makeout. And the problem is that advice, and this was not stated by these pickup artists, that advice is calibrated more toward the night game guy. So if you're doing night game and you're out at like 1 o'clock in the morning at a loud club where everyone's drunk and you're going to pull a chick home or isolate a chick somewhere and have sex that night, then kiss close makes perfect sense. However, if you're on a normal first date at a Starbucks or a bar and it's during the daytime and she's 100% sober, you're 100% sober, and her ASD is rocking at 100%, going for the makeout is a really, really, really bad idea. And so when I course corrected on this and I immediately stopped doing that and I just didn't kiss at all, I did everything else, but I didn't kiss and waited for the second date to do that, my results skyrocketed. I forget the exact number, something like, I don't remember, 60+% improvement in how often I actually had sex with a woman within 3 dates when I just stopped kissing on the first date. And I went, holy shit, okay, that works. That is now part of my model. And to this day, that was many years ago, to this day, unless it is a sugar daddy type thing and there's money involved, I do not kiss a woman on a first date, and nor should you. You should not do that at all, do everything else, but do not kiss on a first date. On a second date, then you go for that kind of stuff. Now, here's the key point. At no time did I ever sit down and go, well, why is that working? Well, why is it that women don't like it to be kissed the first date? Well, why is it that if I wait to the second date, then I get laid? Well, why is that? I want to know why that happens, God damn it. And I get all worked up about why. I didn't give a fuck. I just proceeded with what I knew worked. And so in many scenarios, matter of fact, I would say in most scenarios, in your woman life, in your dating life, in your relationship life, why she did it or why she reacted that way isn't that important. It's just not. By the way, I will give you the answer. And if this sounds insulting, I'm sorry, but this is the truth. And the good news about this is I insult women and men equally on this. I haven't written entire articles about this, and it is a saying that I have. And the saying is, men are dumb, women are insane, which is true. And if you just move through life, not just your relationship life, but your business life, your personal life, your family life, and your relationship dating life, with the assumption that men are stupid and women are insane, all of a sudden, all the surprises and problems that people normally have kind of go away. Everything is kind of just happens as expected. And this is the concept that I carry through in my life, including my business life. If I'm working with a man, and I don't know him, he's new, I'm going to assume he was a dumbass. I'm going to assume that he's stupid and he's going to do a bunch of dumb shit because he's dumb, because he's a guy. Guys are dumb. It's true. They are. And by the way, I'm pointing at myself when I say this. I'm a dumb shit. I have a low genius IQ and I'm still a dumb ass. I do dumb shit all the time because I'm a man. That's how we work. All right, now that I'm done insulting men, now it's women's turn. Women are insane. Women don't make any sense. And what I mean by that is, and I could do a whole podcast on this, maybe I should, but when a man does something stupid, he's doing it because he's stupid. And so when a man is doing something dumb, he thinks he's being smart because he's dumb. And if you show a man, hey, dumbass, that's not going to work. Look what you're doing. Often, not always, but often a man will go, oh, okay. And he'll course correct and start doing the right thing if you show him. Now, sometimes you have to show him. He may not believe you. It depends on the guy, but that generally happens. Now, when a woman is doing something stupid, it's very different. When a woman does something dumb, she knows she's being dumb and she does it anyway. Why? Because she's insane. Women are insane. When a woman is doing something stupid and you say, what are you doing? That's stupid. Don't you realize this and this and this? What they say is, yeah, I know. I really shouldn't do that. This is very different when you correct a man. When you correct a man and say, hey, you shouldn't do that. That's stupid. They go, shut up. Fuck you. Because they think they're right. All right, that's how men react. Women are the opposite. When you tell women, why that's stupid, why are you doing that? They go, yeah, I know it's really stupid. Oh, I shouldn't do that. And then they just keep right on doing it because women are insane. So when you ask, why does she do that? The answer 80, 90% of the time is because she's a girl. She's insane. She doesn't have a reason. She's crazy. You know what? It sounds like I'm being funny and making a joke or trying to be hyperbolic and get clicks or whatever. No, I'm speaking literally and objectively. 70, 80, 90% of the time in a relationship or dating environment, when a woman does something that doesn't make any sense, often the answer in terms of why did she do that is because she's insane. She doesn't have a fucking reason. And if you asked her the reason, she wouldn't even know. She'd give this glassy look. I've done this with women. When they either with me or with something they've done with another guy. Well, why'd you do that? They go, and they kind of just, their eyes glass over. And they go, yeah, that was dumb. I shouldn't have done that. Well, why are you doing it? I don't know. And then they go on and do it with the next guy and the next guy and the next guy because women are insane. So that's reason number one. You shouldn't give a shit about, well, why'd she do that? She did it because she's insane, bro. She's a girl. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be so simplistic, but often that's the reason. Especially again in dating and relationship scenarios. Now, as I've talked about many times, when you pull women out of a dating or romantic relationship mode and place her into like a business mode, then women are much more rational. I've said this before, how I love working with women. I mean, literally, most of my best business relationships throughout my entire career, last 25 years, have been with women. So I'm not one of these guys who say women shouldn't be in the workplace and women are terrible at the work. No, I mean, yes, they get more emotional than men do. That's true. I've talked about that as well. But women are fantastic, or at least they can be, in a workplace environment when they have to submit to these rational models. But often in relationships, even the most intelligent women who are, own companies and things like that, not all of them, okay, I'm generalizing here, tend to be a little insane. It's just the way it goes. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. Women will admit this. Most women I've told this to, they go, what? And then they stop. They go, you know what? Yeah, women are insane. I've had many women say this to me. You know what? Yeah, women are insane. When they stop and think about themselves, or they think about their best friends, their girlfriends, or their sisters, or their moms, like, women are insane. It's true. So that's reason number one. Reason number two, bigger reason, outcome independence. When you encounter a problem with a woman in a dating or relationship scenario, and you just, I want to know why she did that. I want to know why. What are you demonstrating? Outcome dependence. You shouldn't give a shit. When I am with a woman, FB, my wife, MLTR back in my head, it doesn't matter, and they do something that doesn't make sense, or they do something dumb, I don't care why. You know why? Because I don't care. Because I'm outcome independent. I don't care what the problem is. Now, if it's a serious relationship, let me give you some exceptions. Well, Caleb, what if it's a serious ongoing relationship and it's a pattern of behavior? That obviously is different. So if I had a recurring problem with Pink Firefly, my wife, and it was a recurring pattern of behavior that lasted many, many weeks, then yes, it would make sense to figure out what's going on and why it happens. But what percentage of problems or scenarios or weirdness do you get from women that fall into that category? It's very rare, right? Usually it's stuff she does the first date, second date, or a woman you've been dating 2 or 3 months or 2 or 3 weeks, right? Maybe even an MLTR or two. These are not long-term consistent problems. These are some crazy thing that she does, or crazy thing that she says, or things that she does that piss you off, like she ghosts you, or she goes back to her ex-boyfriend, or she says something stupid, or I should say insane. Men say stupid shit, women say insane shit. It's true. Things like that. You go, well, I want to know why she did that. Why? Well, I want to know why. I want to know why. And now some of you guys, or even worse, some of you guys ask the woman why. Why'd you do that? Well, what'd you do that for? And then often, what is the answer you get for women when you do that? Those of you who've done this, what's the answer? It's a bunch of gobbledygook, and then she starts attacking you, right? She starts bitching at you now, okay? Because she doesn't have an answer, because she doesn't know, because she's insane. So that's the second reason you shouldn't give a shit. Third reason you shouldn't give a shit is that if you become consumed with why women do things, you will become a red pill nerd. You know what I mean when I say red pill nerd. These are guys who consume a lot of red pill content, and they consume all this book knowledge about why women do things, and they start getting jaded. They start getting angry about women. They start getting pissed off. They start going around bitching about hypergamy and alpha widows and a bunch of other red pill terms because they're all worked up and immersed in the why. I don't want you to be immersed in why when it comes to your woman life. I want you to be immersed in what. What to do, what not to do, and what works. That's it. You can, if you follow my relationship models and my dating models, you can, and I've seen guys do this, be extremely successful with both those things without ever knowing one bit of female psychology or red pill ideology. Without knowing why it works, you will be successful. If you just stop doing what doesn't work and start doing what does work, and you don't even ask why, you don't even care, you'll be successful. It's true. And if you don't believe me, try it. My stuff works. And my stuff isn't the only stuff that works, but my stuff works. And this focus on why is not only outcome dependent, but a useless endeavor. You shouldn't fucking care. And if you care too much, that's a problem. Now, let me throw in a fourth thing. I just thought of this. This is in my outline. Another reason that guys ask why, I want to know why. I want to know why she did it. Caleb, explain why she did it. I'm going to call her and ask her why she did it. You know what else that demonstrates in many cases, not all cases, but in many? One-itis. One-itis. You have one-itis. Okay. This is the girl you want. There's no other women on your radar. You think this girl's the best girl you've ever dated in your life, right? Because you're stupid. See, men are stupid. You're stupid. So you think this is the only girl you ever date in your entire life. And so you want to know why, like a little baby. Again, I don't care why. Now, do I know why women behave in certain ways? Yes, I've written articles about it, and I include some of that in my books. But if you have read any of my books, any of them, you know that I focus on why maybe 5 to 10%. And the other 90% I focus on is what? What to do. Step 1, do this. Step 2, do that. Step 3, do this. Then I have a list of things not to. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't do this. Don't do that. And you can sit there if you're a red pill nerd and say, but I want to know why. What are the inner workings of her psychology that make her do that? Is it because back in the 1960s, and you start getting mentally masturbating all these stupid facts. Stop focusing on why. Stop focusing on the esoteric. Stop focusing on the history and the biology and the background and all that BS, and start focusing on what to do and then take action on what to do. If you don't kiss women on first dates and wait to the second date, you will get laid more. Now, you can sit there and wonder why, and that's fine. I can explain why if you want, but it's not relevant. If you had no idea why, it would still work. Now, the reason why it works, if you give a shit and you shouldn't, is because you're spiking ASD too quickly. ASD, if you don't know, is anti-slut defense. That is the thing women have when they first meet you and they're attracted to you and they want to have sex with you, but they say no because they don't want to be perceived as a slut. Okay, so that's what ASD means. When you kiss on the first date, you are spiking ASD too quickly and you make it harder for yourself to have sex with her later. If you do everything else I talk about but don't kiss, you actually, instead of spiking ASD, you spike attraction. She's now leaving you wanting more, so your odds are much higher on the second meet. But again, none of that matters. It doesn't fucking matter. Just do what works and don't do what doesn't work. From now on, and I mean this, whenever you want to know why did you do that? Whenever that thought comes into your head, that should be a red flag for you, because I literally never have that thought. I just don't. And I'm married. I have an OLTR wife. I have FBs. I've had numerous MLTRs. I've been dating in this lifestyle for 15 years non-monogamously. I don't ask that question. A, because I don't care, and B, because I know if I do care too much, I'm going to get into that one-itis zone, and now I have a real problem. So if you even have that question in your mind, like, I want to know why she did that, that should be an immediate red flag. You should stop, come to a complete stop and pause and say, you know what? Why do I care about this? I shouldn't care about this. I know what I need to do. I know what I shouldn't do because I've read Caleb's material. I just need to proceed with this. If I really want to know the reason why, it's because she's insane, because she's a girl, because girls are insane. And again, if you're a woman listening to this, and you're pissed off that I'm saying women are insane, I just got done saying that men are stupid, okay? So shut the fuck up, Buttercup. I'm an equal opportunity attacker here. As always, I'm objective. Again, I want to reiterate that knowing why things happen and having that be largely irrelevant is only relevant, in my opinion, in the woman's side of your life. In other areas, investing, time management, business, that's a little different. Sometimes, many times, most often, if something goes wrong in a business scenario, you do want to know why. That's very important, or at least it's usually important. So I'm only talking here about the woman's side of your life, not your whole life. I hope this has helped. Remember this. Remember this next time a woman confuses you or pisses you off, because it'll happen again, because they're women, because they're insane. Remember this. You shouldn't care why. Focus on the what, and then take action. Don't focus on the why. I will see you next week. Have fun.